Welcome to issue 123 of Critical Encounters, a podcast about Marvel Champions, a living card game by Fantasy Flight Games. Here we take a good look at that most critical piece of the game, the encounter sets. We'll discuss those poorly understood characters, unfairly labeled villains, and their various plans to shape humanity and benefit the planet, as well as those so-called heroes intent on thwarting them. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel, and joining me tonight is Mike. How are you, sir?
Daniel, good to see you.
Ah, what a delight to be seen. We're also joined by our lovely mentor, Steve. Steve, how are you?
I'm feeling impish.
Oh, impish.
Yeah, kind of childish tonight.
I'm excited to hear that. Well, what can we do with such childish excitement, Steve?
We could talk about the Children of Thanos modular set.
Oh, that's a little bitty one, right?
Yeah, it's an itty bitty.
That's like imp sized.
It is.
Oh, all right.
Wait, didn't we already do all the lore for these people?
Pretty sure I remember every one of these names, Steve.
Yeah, we did. So, it's only a 4-card set. It has 4 unique cards. It comes with the Mad Titan Shadow, but we got to talk about it. So we're going to recap their stories a little bit. Maybe a little bit how they interact with Thanos, particularly since it is a set that you will play with Thanos, who will be coming up soon. We're going to play some games. We're going to talk about the cards. So, children, we got to play some games, right?
I can't wait. What children do.
Yeah. So let's just get right to it, huh? It's going to be
Why wait?
Tonight, but let's
dive in.
All right. So I'm going to talk about Corvus Glaive. We had some really nice guests on from Married and Bored who talked all about Corvus Glaive, but here's a little recap. And this recap is very much inspired by a really nice website that we use often, the marvel.fandom.com. So if you want to read more and you don't have the comic books, you can go check out that webpage. But Corvus Glaive, he's a member of Thanos' Black Order alongside his wife Proxima Midnight and his brother, Black Dwarf. And he serves as the right-hand man for the Mad Titan. One of his tasks was to always force the planets that were enlightened by Thanos to give his master tribute. That was part of his task. Make sure they're paying up. And then eventually Corvus Glaive takes advantage when Thanos becomes absent following the rebirth of the multiverse at the hands of Mr. Fantastic. It's like this whole big thing where the multiverse is like destroyed and reborn. So Corvus starts his own Black Order. And he takes over the Black Quadrant, which is a moon that used to belong to Thanos. So he takes it for himself in his new Black Order. And then Glaive spends a whole bunch of time building his empire, taking over planets, spreading his influence throughout the galaxy, and making his own army grow.
It's just weird how these villains can't trust the other villains.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like a theme or something larger at play in an idea like that.
What an interesting idea. Steve, you better not disappear.
Oh boy, great.
Looks like Steve doesn't have the biggest room in the lair anymore, Mike.
Oh boy, evil feeds upon itself. We're in trouble here.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to tell you about Proxima, Steve.
Proxima. She's like the plague bringer.
Okay, all right. Hold on a second.
Proxima on both your houses.
So for folks who might not have figured this out by now or don't know me, I tend to have some typos when I type. So they like to
I can't understand half of his text.
However, no one else does it. So you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
Don't get upset.
Do it yourself. Right. Yeah, do it yourself or become the new leader. Wait, no, don't do that.
I always thought Steve was just quoting passages from the Voynich manuscript, but
yeah. If spell check doesn't catch it, it's not getting caught with me. So whatever.
Yeah, your spell check has to be on.
Oh, it's on. Yeah.
Well, you can type words where the spell check can't even guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now,
right.
It's the same spell checker he uses for Scrabble.
Yeah, I'm completely fluent in typos, so people will send, they'll be off a letter to the left or something, and I can read it completely fine, and they'll try to explain themselves. I got it. I get you.
I got it.
Good. Yeah.
Anyway, Mike, tell us about Proxima.
All right, Proxima Midnight is a servant of Thanos, who she had served for, I don't know, some number of years. We don't know. She used to serve in Thanos' Butcher Squadron, an elite team that carried out barbaric acts of murder that Thanos ordered. And she carried them out without question. One of the jobs this team did was to wipe out the pacifist This is why you gave this one to me. The Dorsernier?
It's spelled right.
I would say Dorcarnier.
The Dorcarnier people. They later were ordered by Thanos to launch an attack on the planet Zen-Huberi to prevent it from being taken over by the Universal Church of Truth. You two should know what that planet is.
We know who they are.
Yeah. That's Gamora's people.
Yep.
Years later, Proxima Midnight was a member of Thanos' Black Order and one of the best combatants of the Mad Titan's army. When Thanos targeted Earth as the next planet he would raise, Proxima Midnight was dispatched to Atlantis to retrieve Namor's Infinity Gem. Because they gave Namor an Infinity Gem. What were they thinking?
I know.
But first, she would opt to literally make landfall in the heart of New York City.
Yeah.
Taking a contingent of Thanos' army where she could proceed to lay waste to the city and its denizens.
Who was it? Americano said, I don't know why anyone would live in New York City in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's like, Omaha's looking pretty good. Well, there's one more fella to tell you all about, guys. You remember my big debrief on Ebony Maw, who we lovingly refer to as Blackmouth?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll just remind you all things I said before. Began his life as a servant of Thanos in the elite team of killers named, as Mike already wonderfully told us, the Butcher Squadron. Mm-hmm. Like all other pirates, soldiers, and mercenaries Thanos gathered to form his crew, Ma and the Butcher Squadron lived in the space station Zero Sanctuary. In his time there, Ma started observing Thanos in order to better understand him. After the Butcher Squadron slaughtered the Zen-Huberis to prevent the Magoos from converting them into members of his Universal Church of Truth, Thanos took the only remaining member of their species, a girl named Gamora, as a prisoner.
The all-powerful Magus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Magoos. Seeing as the girl was somehow important to Thanos, Ma planned to let her out of her cell in the hopes that he could ingratiate her to the Butcher Squadron. But she ran away. He then convinced the other members of the Butcher Squadron to help him find her so he could return her to Thanos. That way, Ma intended to show Thanos that his own underlings could take his new obsession away from him, which would in turn make the Mad Titan look vulnerable in front of the rest of his crew.
I'm getting another idea.
Yeah.
Ma's just not a nice fella.
Yeah, the Whisperer, right? Like, he's always scheming. So right there, even against Thanos, he's scheming.
Yeah, he's the Saruman of this world.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah. All right, well, there's some recap lore on the 3. But we're going to play a game, right? We're going to play a game.
And this is why we all came.
This is why we showed up today, right?
One of you guys, tell us about this game.
We are going to play some Would You Rather. Each of us has come prepared with some scenarios, and we're going to pose it to the others. And we have to choose which one of the 3 characters, Corvus, Proxima, or Ma, they would prefer to have in that situation, and why.
Okay.
Correct.
So, since I introduced it, Steve's going to go first.
That seems fair.
Steve's going to go first. Okay. All right, so my first scenario was actually given to me by my daughter, Elizabeth.
Oh.
We were discussing the show, and she came up with this idea. So here you go. Who would you rather have as your child's kindergarten school teacher?
Oh, my. Easy.
If it's easy, Mike, you start it up.
Well, okay, as your child, oh my goodness.
Yeah, your child's kindergarten school teacher.
I feel like Proxima Midnight would be a strong role model for a young girl. But she also has the lowest intellect, so that might leave my child's education lacking. Ebony Maw is pretty smart, but he's also conniving, and I don't want to know what he's going to tell my child to do. So we're going to go with Corvus Glaive for being the highest intellect of all 3 of them, and perhaps without some of the downsides.
That's right. I agree with you, Mike, because, a kindergarten teacher is going to have to do it all, right? It's not just, overseeing nap time, but it's also gym class. It's also some basic math. So I feel like at his 2 scheme 2 attack in a very balanced stat line and pretty high, that he can kind of do it all. He covers all the bases that a kindergarten teacher needs to cover. Mm-hmm. So I'm with you. I will also point out that if a kid's acting out of line,
that face is going to put them in line.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got toughness.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he can take whatever a kindergartner's going to try to dish out.
Oh, and retaliate.
Depending on the school
there's going to be a kid that gets out of line once.
I was thinking the same thing because he does have a younger brother, so he might be able to, handle kids.
Yeah, he knows kids. Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
That's a great
thank
question.
your daughter for that one.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Okay, Daniel, you're next.
Okay. Fellas, which of these three would you want to steal your library card because you'd think they'd make your account look pretty cool?
Oh.
Do you understand the question? Right?
Yes. Yep.
It's like your Amazon wish list. How it's like basically it makes your history look really good.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I want Ebony Maw to take mine. I think he's going to be studying all kinds of topics all over the gamut. I think Proxima might just get like athletic books and tactical guides with Corvus and fighting stuff. But I think Maw is he's gonna be reading like the esoteric history of the Infinity Gems or whatever it is. So I think I go with Maw. I want Maw to take my library card.
Yeah, my runner up was Proxima because the military history. I think it'd be cool. But everyone's got a military history section. No. Yeah, you're right. Ebony Maw is going to be the one with an Economicon.
Right. Yeah. that he hasn't returned and you have a late fee on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a given for the question. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Well, what about you, Mike? What's your first?
You didn't answer your own question.
Steve didn't answer his.
Yes, I did.
You did?
I said Corvus Glaive because he has a little brother, so he would know kids better.
Well, I thought that's why you were agreeing with me.
Oh, well.
Oh,
okay.
You could just agree with us.
Oh, well, I think really, while I agree that Maw is the most, probably best read, I think Proxima would have a really odd reading list because I think Corvus Glaive's one is going to have like all the military history, tactics stuff, right?
Oh.
I think she's just going to have all sorts of crazy like stuff. I think she's going to get interesting graphic novels. I think she'll get some like Chicken Soup for the Soul type books. I think I could see Proxima getting like deeply and weirdly into Kafka and maybe like philosophy.
An illustrated guide.
I think the reason I want Proxima is because I think that she seems like the most straightforward of these three. Like, oh, we know what she's like. But I bet like when she's got your library card and is free to get whatever she wants, like her kind of like true self is going to emerge. Like she's, I think, a deeper character.
Are you hoping that she'll have like romance novels with Fabio on the cover? She does. Her and Corvus do express their romantic sides quite a bit to each other in the comics. So
right, I feel like she gets that taken care of in her real life. She wouldn't do that.
She wouldn't do that. Okay, all right.
Hard to say. One scheme. I mean, is scheme directly correlated to intellect?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay, that's good.
For her, I think it's correlating to like her interest in it.
Okay.
Or like I could, do foil some plans or whatever, but I'd rather just hit someone with this stick.
Gotcha.
She's physical, right? But I think, from the hour like 9 to 10 before she, goes to sleep, she's reading some pretty interesting stuff.
Okay. More than just Where's Waldo?
Way more.
That's Black Dwarf reading that stuff.
Oh, okay. Yep. All right.
He's not interested though. Yeah.
No. Proxima will reveal her inner depth through my library charges.
Gotcha.
Now, Mike, what's your question?
All right. It is the 1980s. Don't worry about it. Time stuff.
I was there.
You are the main character in an 80s teen movie. The one where you're an outcast at school. You're down on your luck. You're being bullied daily by those stupid jocks, Tony and Roger. Yep. But wait, one day you happen upon a tubular dude or dudette from the future, and the ensuing hijinks take you on an adventure to wild parties and high school fame. Who is the wild card of your story?
Oh, easy for me.
Oh, you better go first then. Okay.
Proxima Midnight. She shows up. She's like the new girl at school, and everyone's intimidated by her. And like the mean girls try to like bring her down, but she's like above that. And she in the lunchroom, in the cafeteria, she like beats up on like the star football player, because he was picking on you, and she's like this heroic, defender of the downtrodden.
Oh yeah, okay,
right?
okay.
And then it ends, at prom, where she and I are the king and queen of prom.
Of course, it's got to end that way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I actually was thinking Corvus Glaive would be the one, because he's that older brother who has the really cool car, who could drive me to all the places, and like he does that whole thing where he beats up the bully or just shows up. He doesn't even have to fight him. He just shows up and out, and the guys run away, and he
like
knows
Paul
all the
Rudd
cool...
in Clueless.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He knows all the cool spots to go. Everybody wants to be him. And he like takes me under his wing, and off we go, and hilarity ensues. That's my choice, Corvus.
That's good. I like that you're taking different angles on this. I took a third angle with Ebony Maw for the hijinks part. And the bully's walking around, and oh my gosh, the pie fell in his face because he's got telekinetic powers. And he's the one doing all the crazy stuff. He's dancing on the cars. He's
Yep.
He's the guy who just might upstage you. But don't worry, you'll ride his coattails to the end.
Nice.
I love it.
That's good.
All right. Let's circle back to Steve.
Okay. I'm going to regret asking this one after the earlier conversation we had. But
oh boy,
out of these three, who would you rather do this podcast with, choosing them to replace one of the other hosts? And which host is that you replace?
I can't do this. Why? Why would you ask us to do this?
This was pre-chosen. This is a good one.
Oh God.
I have to only pick one?
Yeah.
Well, Mike, I'll go. That's right.
Okay.
I would pick Corvus Glaive to replace Steve.
Okay.
And I say that because we would need someone who would still be willing to do all the show notes and the strategic part of the show. And Corvus is that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
tough.
So yeah.
Oh man.
That's it. That's
acceptable.
That's right.
It's acceptable. I mean, if someone's going to replace me, it's all right, I guess.
I can't.
It has to be like the hardworking everyman.
At least I know the show would continue if you pick him. And I was going,
okay. I can't choose Mustafa. Hey, that's cheating.
That's cheating.
Okay. You know what? No. It has been said that I am probably the least villainous person on the show.
Fair.
So I'm going to take one for the team, and I'm going to replace myself with the only villainous person here, which is Ebony Maw.
Ooh. Okay.
That would make me feel very uncomfortable.
I mean, it's a little too heroic for the show to choose itself.
It's a little heroic, but just think about that a little bit deeper. I'm injecting a bit of Ebony Maw into the group. What is more villainous than that?
It seems like a nice thing, though, but Steve, we think that because he's Canadian.
Right. Well, I think pretty soon Ebony Maw has removed both you and I as well, Daniel.
Yeah, exactly.
A one-man show. Yeah.
It's a one-man show.
Sneaky like that. He seeps in there like maple syrup.
Oh, jeez.
It's good.
All right. Well, how about you, Steve? Which one are you getting rid of? I can take it. I chose you. Go ahead.
I didn't really consider it, but probably I'm kicking Mike out and replacing with Proxima because her hair is actually better than Mike's hair.
Oh.
So
and we still need someone with hair.
Still need the hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't have two people on the show with hair better than me because then I'm outnumbered completely. So.
No, that makes sense.
Is that hair or a helmet? I actually can't tell.
The blue coming out the back is her hair.
That's her hair.
Oh. Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, the moose antlers or whatever. That's
the helmet.
That's the helmet. She learned nothing from the false ancient Viking tales about horned helmets.
Right.
All
right, Daniel.
Okay. This one on the surface will seem maybe simple, but which of these three do you think would most enjoy the symphony with you?
Oh, Corvus Glaive.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he's the intellect, like you said, he's the jack of all trades. This guy's got music in his bones. He's just got it, and he'll understand it on an intellectual level, and he'll sit quiet.
Have you ever been to the symphony though, Mike, and you clapped at the wrong time?
No,
I did that the very first time I ever went to a symphony. I didn't know. Like, there's a pause, and so I started clapping, and I was alone in like a 4,000 person theater, and everyone looked at me like I was turd on their shoe. And that was like 8th grade maybe, and it was like a date. Weirdly, 8th grade. I've never been to a symphony since.
Oh, that's too bad. They can be fun.
No, I'll listen to them at my house. I'll clap when I want to.
Oh my gosh. That's the best thing about Corvus Glaive. He will know when to clap. So just
he'll know when to clap.
Turn your head and watch what he does.
Yeah. Proxima might chop your hands off if you clap the wrong time. I think I agree, Corvus Glaive. I think because he will appreciate like the ordered perfection of all these different pieces coming together in like this perfect harmony, right? Like the tactical mind there. I think he is watching the oboes perfectly with the percussion and figuring out when this will go to that. I think he will appreciate it the most. I also feel like he might pay for me as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
So my answer to this is Ebony Maw for the damaging the story about my damage that I just told, because I feel like when I do clap at the wrong time, he has the power to like somehow make it look like someone else was clapping,
or make everyone else clap too,
or make everyone else clap, or just like I don't know, rip all the violins out of the performer's hands and smash them.
You wound me, sir.
No, it's just to cover for my clapping at the wrong time.
Oh,
because people would forget that instantly if suddenly there were no violins.
Oh.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
You know I play the violin, right?
I did not. Oh my god, I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
You're supposed to smash the damn violas.
Oh, I'll smash a viola then. Absolutely. I had no idea you played the fiddle.
I did. Actually, a really, really funny story. I was at a party once, and a girl makes a joke about a viola, and I turned to her like, "You play the violin too?" She's like, "Yeah, totally."
I love that you have a... Well, of course, we've now lost our 28 viola playing listeners.
Yeah, I know.
My oldest son used to play the viola, and he hated it. So
there you go.
Therefore.
My daughter plays the cello.
Enough said.
Actually, cello is a beautiful instrument. Yeah, but that's not why we're here. We're playing Would You Rather.
Yes.
Hey,
one left. One left. Mike?
All right. It is the 1980s. There's a theme with mine.
Yeah, I like it.
I guess that.
You are in charge of the WWF Championship, but of all the darned luck, our favorite villainous wrestler, Hulk Hogan, is off fighting bounty hunters in outer space. Who would you rather take his spot in the ring?
Oh, Proxima.
Proxima?
Yeah.
All right.
I'd love to watch her just dusting those dudes, feasting all over them. That'd be awesome.
You think maybe the show would be over too fast?
No, because I think she would like how cats like will kill a mouse slowly.
Okay,
I feel like she would like under the lights and stuff. She'd know to do it that way. She'd let him get a few punches in, a couple. I don't know, sledgehammers. What's a wrestling move? I don't know. Isn't there like pile driver?
Slam.
Yeah.
Headlock,
half Nelsons.
Yeah.
Things like she'd like let it happen, then just little cut by little cut, and then tell it to be delicious. That's nice.
The WWF, what the world is watching.
The Black Mouth, and he'd have this huge like entrance music, and he'd come down. He's this scrawny, skinny little guy, right? And he's going up against like Andre the Giant, like this huge Undertaker, this big guy. And he comes out and he like takes off his shirt, and he's got no muscles, and he's like, everybody's booing him, and they're like laughing.
He's got like a concave chest. He's like that scrawny.
He's getting totally just like ridiculed and everything, and then. He before he hops in the ring, he like swings his arms around and he points back to the entrance, and out comes Black Dwarf to take his place. Comes charging down and then just pounds the heck out of whoever it is that's in the ring. So,
wow,
he ends up being the manager, right? That sneaky 1980s conniving manager guy.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's mine.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to jump on board with you because I was gonna play the character aspect too, and thought Corvus Glaive, he's got the look that could replace the villain, but no, you did it better. I'm just gonna jump on your train.
That's fine.
I thought you were gonna make Ma just like have his opponent punch himself over and over and stuff.
Oh, you could do that too.
He could do that, right? You could.
Yeah.
The recognized symbol of excellence in
What a
sports
fun game,
entertainment.
Steve. Thanks for making us
That was
play
great.
this.
Yeah, something. Since we only have 4 cards, we got to talk about now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is a set, isn't it?
It is a set.
Oh.
Well, let's talk about them. Let's do our cards we did the history for. How about that?
Great. Do it.
Sounds good.
All right, I have Corvus Glaive. He's a unique minion with a 2 scheme, 2 attack, 4 health. He is Black Order and Elite. Retaliate 1. Toughness. He has a special boost icon. Discard an ally or support you control. I am a servant of my master Thanos, a destroyer of worlds. I am one of the 5. Corvus Glaive.
Well.
Yeah, 2/2/4, retaliate toughness. Toughness is great because he'll get that retaliate at least once.
Yeah,
Probably.
hopefully.
Yeah. And his boost is great. It just comes out and kills something.
Of course, he doesn't get retaliate when Squirrel Girl shows up.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Now, of the cards that do pierce, they don't do a ton of damage in general, do they?
3 usually, right?
Yeah, 2 or 3. So I don't think you can one-shot him with the pierce. Except for Hawkeye's Vibranium Arrow, I think is like a 6.
See, I'm okay if they overpay.
Well,
If they want to overpay, great.
Right.
Yeah.
How about that boost effect?
I'm surprised the boost effect doesn't put him into play.
Yeah, none of them
do. They all have the same boost effect, right?
They're close.
Oh, they're close.
They're close.
Naturally, the couple does.
I mean, he's a decent, he's elite, so it makes it a little harder for some of those, whatevers. But we've got more cards.
Yeah. What's Proxima all about, Mike?
All right. Proxima Midnight is a minion with 1 scheme, 3 attack. She is Black Order and Elite traded, 5 hit points. That's right. She's just got a little bit more muscle than Corvus. Proxima Midnight's attacks gain piercing. That's good. And she's got the special boost. Discard an ally or upgrade you control.
Nice.
So I think this boost effect generally, at least the way I play, this one will hit me. Because I always play with upgrades.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas I don't always have supports out. I don't always have allies out. Are you guys finding that, or do you still run a lot of supports and stuff?
I definitely play more upgrades than supports. I like that it's like ally or support or ally or upgrade, so it has a better chance to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think there's typically more upgrades on the table than there's supports.
Although your supports will cost more.
Yeah, I feel like the only supports I play are the ones that are like really specific to the deck.
Unless
like the hero's particular 15 cards, right? Don't they always come with their apartment and stuff like that?
Right.
You know,
I mean, unless you're playing some of the new shield stuff, there's a lot of supports in the shield.
Okay.
Sweet.
I haven't done those shenanigans yet.
Yeah, I think she's a little better. I think that boost, you're right, Mike. I think it is a little bit better. It's going to hit a little more often.
And she should hit a little more often.
Yeah.
But let me tell you guys about Blackmouth in this particular modular set. Ebony Maw's minion with 1 scheme, 1 attack. That seems low, doesn't it?
It does.
He's got 6 health. He's the
6
Black
health?
Order and Elite. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Black Order Elite. But he is villainous, guys. So it's not 1 scheme, 1 attack. It's a 4 scheme, 4 attack. And his special boost is give this enemy 1 additional boost card. Stop imagining poor endings for the world. A very real one is coming soon. Oh, he's good. He's also the only one that has an actual boost icon on his card as well. Not just the special boost. So, Mike, why on earth does this guy have 6 health and the rest are weaker?
I'm guessing it's because he's got telekinetic shields or something.
All right, fine. And he's potentially stronger than them too. Like I think he's the VIP of this set.
The villainous is really nice because Emer attack, he gets that boost card. That boost card could do something. He could draw Corvus or Proxima as his boost card, right?
Yeah.
For himself. Him as a boost effect, though, like if this is the boost effect, it's 1 additional. It's not great. I mean, it ends up being 1 plus something else. I guess it gets you a chance to get into Corvus or Proxima a little bit better.
Sure.
I'm not super keen on that, but the villainous is really nice. And 6 health. Yeah, I don't get the 6 health, but okay.
Especially after how you described him as a wrestler.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
he should have like 1 health maybe.
Yeah. Well, this is not his WWE or F or whatever it is. It's not his wrestling mode. Yeah.
I see. His scheming wrestler mode.
Right.
Guys, can I be honest about something?
Sure.
This whole set has made me think that I kind of wish the game has done a little bit more for elite minions. I know we tried to in the early days by saying guard protects them as well. But
right.
What's out there, guys, to like make elite feel elite?
Not
a lot, right? I can think of like maybe a card or two that say non-elite minions.
Right. Nova Prime can't defeat elite minions. That's maybe it.
There's not much at all.
Yeah.
Isn't there a big hit that targets non-elites? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it feels like I don't see the point of being labeled elite yet.
Right.
Maybe that's coming in Standard 3.
God, I hope so, man. Seriously, like, I feel like they have to do something.
Hey, maybe the designers are listening, and now they have some ideas for Standard 3.
There you go.
Yeah, so I think the only combo pieces you get out of other modular sets come in the Wrecking Crew modular set, not the villain scenario. There's like top talent that gives each elite minion retaliate, and then there's combined effort that each elite minion gets to activate. Let's not spoil
future shows, Steve.
Yeah. I'm just saying there's only a couple cards.
There's a couple things, right? It seems it's a theme thing more than it is
a
meaningful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mechanics-wise. Yeah. Theme is, of course, more meaningful than anything in the world. So, all right. Well, Steve, what are these 3 guys trying to do?
Well, they're extracting tribute.
Sweet.
Which is the side scheme, has 2 threat per player and 2 boost icons. The Black Order worship death and demand tribute from those they conquer. When defeated, deal the player who defeated this scheme a face-down encounter card and has a crisis.
Nice.
And there's 2 of those, right?
2 of those. Oh, I guess you're right.
There must be 2 of those.
Yes, there are 2 of those. That means this set has 5 cards in it, not 4. Well,
4
see,
title.
Look at you being able to do math. You're like Corvus or Ebony Maw, I guess. There's 2 of these. So.
Great. It's a great side scheme.
It's all right.
I just love side schemes that hurt you for finishing them, especially a crisis.
Yeah.
It's like that's just mean on top of mean.
Yeah, you have to delay you got to deal with the crisis. You're going to end up with an encounter card. So next turn you end up with 2. It doesn't have a lot of threat. So, I mean, it's not a big distraction, but they have to deal with it. But most likely.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, Daniel.
Yes, Mike.
Are you gonna grade it?
This one's hard to grade, to be honest. I think there are 3 great minions, a lovely side scheme to cap it off. I'm going to say B+.
I feel like early in the game's life we would have given this an A+, but we've been spoiled by a few sets now.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this one a B.
Okay.
Because I don't like the fact that when Ebony Maw schemes and he pulls Corvus Glaive as a boost, he only schemes for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the little things, right?
Yeah.
But maybe it's like thematically interesting that there's nothing that really kind of like tightly holds this modular set together, because these are 3 sort of disparate characters in the story,
Right.
Like, like a lot of these modular sets, like we give them A's and stuff because they like sort of hit an idea delightfully through all the cards in it. This one, like these 3 are just totally different things.
It looked like they were trying to hit something with the first 2 boost effects. And then...
but even that's thematic because they're similar to each other and they're a couple and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And then Blackmouth is just a wild card out there and he would be different. And he is more villainous than those 2, I think. So, I mean, I think it's each of the characters is right.
Do you feel like tribute's wrong then?
No, I think it's fine. It's like Steven mentioned that, right? In the backstory of Corvus Glaive, like that's their job.
Yeah.
Okay, so while we're talking about it, which one is better? Which do you think the villain version of the character or the minion version of the character better represents them in theme in the game?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think I could only answer it in theme terms, really. But I love tower defense so much that it's hard for me to think that these two minions would be better than those two villains.
I like the retaliate and toughness on Corvus.
Yeah,
I think Proxima's fairly even. Her actual villain side has more hit points.
Well,
yeah, I think I'll go villain Proxima. That +2 attack's pretty nice.
I think this minion card captures Ebony Maw a little bit better thematically than the villain who turns him into a wizard when he's not. Like, we talked about that earlier. So, like, him as like a scheming, villainous, hard to put down minion, I think is good.
Yeah, I was going to say his is so he's not a mystic as a minion, right? So he doesn't play off of any of that. And we talked about him not necessarily being a mystic, but like having these spells, or what do they call them, invocations or enchantments as a villain. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I think the Ebony Maw villain works best as a whole set, but just distilling it down to the card doesn't do it justice. Whereas the minion kind of does. If that's the question, if boiled down to one card, what represents them the best, I think they did a good job with the minion.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think all three of these minions are pretty good representations of them. But I think you're right. Proxima as a villain just hits as hard as you expect her to hit.
Right.
I mean, the minion though, she does actually have a spear, and she's pictured on her art.
Oh, hey.
So, did we come to a conclusion on which is more accurate, the minion or the villain? I don't know if we have.
I don't know if we have to.
We don't. What I'd like to know what our listeners think.
Oh, but how would they tell us, Steve?
I don't know. Mike, do you know how they would tell us?
I totally do. You can email us at criticalencounterspod@gmail.com. Tell us who represents their character better. And you know what? I've got another one for you. Stay with me here. It's the 1980s. You know those cool television shows that we used to love as kids? The ones where the bad guys were like kind of toned down. Like they couldn't even depict characters shooting guns. This is true. That's why every bad guy had a laser pistol back in the day. So I'm saying it's 80s because that's when I was a kid, but maybe it's not for you. So who would you rather replace the villain of your favorite childhood show? There you go.
Who's going to be Boss Hogg from the Dukes of Hazzard?
Oh, man.
Let us know. We are criticalencounterspod@gmail.com. You can find us on Discord. We are Vardane, Big Foam Wolf, and Wandering Took. And heck, you can find us on Facebook. Just search for Critical Encounters. You can drop your message there. And hey, while you're at it, pop by YouTube and search for Critical Encounters Podcast. We got lots of videos up, and there will be more coming down the pipe. If you like our show, tell your friends. If you don't like our show, tell your enemies. Proxima, take us out.
Fight! Run! Surrender! It does not matter. This world belongs to Thanos now!
This one I think is going to seem on the surface symphony. Sorry, let me start over, Steve.
Wait, what?
You'll see why that weird. Okay, this one on the surface will seem...
Fight, run, surrender. It does not matter. The world belongs to Thanos now.
That was pre-recorded, Mike. Did you not read the end of the show notes?
It's okay.
No. How come it doesn't say don't read the flavor?
It's okay. You can read it, and she can read it too. It's all right.
Okay. Anyways.
Because you replaced me, that's why.
That's right. Corvus Glaive didn't think to put it in there.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel